The Paris Olympics just happened, and seeing as the Olympics only happen every 4 years, I felt I'd take the opportunity, while it's still a relevant talking topic, to make a retrospective on the event as a whole, and this has by far been the strangest, most unusual and most chaotic Olympics to date. So, instead of looking at what you may expect from a sports competition, we'll have a look at all the slightly interesting and unfortunate pieces of Olympic trivia this year. In order to let athletes swim in the Seine River, the city of Paris needed to make sure it was clean enough in time for the event. The French government invested €1.4 billion to clear the river of waste and bacteria, and to prove that it was fit enough to swim in, the mayor of Paris, Anne Hidalgo, and the French president, Emmanuel Macron, promised to swim in it. But all didn't exactly go to plan though, as not long before the event would start, heavy rain contaminated the river even more. And there were even threats online made by people intending to shit in the river, but this got postponed in June after these officials refused to swim in it. The mayor did eventually swim in the Seine in July though, so I'm assuming this event never actually took place. The athletes were of course given housing to stay in, and seeing as it was in summer and the hottest Olympics on record, they'd need some means of keeping cool. But this time the organisers of the event wanted to keep the accommodation for the athletes as eco-friendly as possible, except, as I've already mentioned, the athletes needed to keep cool at the end of the day, leading to a compromise. The athletes could have portable AC units delivered to their rooms. Roughly 2,500 of these units were delivered, completely destroying all ambitions of keeping the event environmentally friendly. The lack of air conditioning did cause more media coverage, adding to the many other chaotic headlines from the event, such as the athletes' new bizarre anti-sex beds being made out of cardboard, although in the end proved to be fairly sturdy. Some of the most memorable moments have to include one French pole vaulter who failed to perform the pole vault after hitting the crossbar with his penis, afterwards telling the French Athletes Federation that it was a big disappointment, despite otherwise performing perfectly. What people seem to be discussing the most, however, is the inclusion of breakdancing as a sport at the event. I don't personally have an issue with it being included, as most of the breakdancers actually had me impressed, but then again, it doesn't surprise me that it won't be included next time in 2028. What I do understand is the discourse around the Australian representative for breakdancing, Rachel Gunn, or Ray Gunn, who received quite a lot of online criticism after delivering quite an underwhelming performance and scoring as low as possible in breakdancing, which is a 0. She responded with an Instagram video calling for an end to all the hate, but many replied by stating that it's not hate at all, but honest criticism. Either way, athletes at the end of the day should not face humiliation, and it's important to note that these people have trained for years and are performing for the whole world to see, and no widespread hate is necessary whatsoever, especially in the case of Imani Khalif, an Algerian boxer who was born female, receiving online bullying, most notably by infamously transphobic celebrities like Elon Musk and J.K. Rowling, for spreading harmful misinformation, making false claims that she is transgender or has XY chromosomes, which would give her an unfair advantage. These are proven not to be true and only serve as ways for these individuals to project their own hateful ideologies, something which somewhat left the event on a sour note. The closing ceremony, however, went pretty much without any points of mainstream criticism. After a long event which had sparked so much controversy, preparation needed to be made to make sure that the closing ceremony of the Olympics, what is essentially a celebration and a grand culmination of the whole event, would go without anything particularly controversial, especially after the unorthodox performances at the opening ceremony that offended way too many of the more traditional viewers of the event. I think it all ended quite nicely, so well done for the Olympic Committee for not messing anything up this time.
Except for leaving New Zealand off the fucking map!